So first of all, let me start with a bow. Some minutes ago, I thought I'm really very nervous, but now I think that I'm really extremely thankful to have the possibility to share to show some results of mine. And I'm Virág Mészáros. Many greetings to every colleagues. And I'm, as already mentioned, a PhD student of University of Pécs Education and Society Doctoral School. And my today topic is background factors of students dropout in the mirror with inclusive excellence. And when we are talking and thinking about the quality of higher education, I cannot stand skipping Carl Robinson thoughts, which is put here very simply, but I strongly believe that anyone can be the system for his or her community. And generally, usually we are no use for waiting for bigger changes or changes from outside. The possibility to improve is always with us. So these are the beginning thoughts of mine. And the aim of today's presentation is to show some results of a questionnaire addressing dropout students. And what I want to focus really on three-worded answers and their connection to inclusive excellence. And I'm going to talk about the connection of my main and my present research, the roots which are very important, the target and the questions of research, the methods, the questionnaire and the sample and their connections, and the findings, of course, at last but not least. And let's see the connections of main and present research. So the target of main research is to raise an education-focused value-added model in connection with STEM higher education. And I have three sub-researches. And this present research connects to the analysis of the before mentioned questionnaire, and I'm really focusing on other answers. Very well-defined groups of literature can be identified. And among them, we can find those ones who are really focusing on the quality of learning and education. And among these, we can find very familiar professors of us with the inclusive excellence, but my own focus, some kind of integrating these all, because I want to reveal decisive value creating elements and the context of them within higher education process. So I want to model processes of value added. To be on a clear platform, I thought that some key concepts I should bring here. So did I. So the first circle for the quality and value. And what is very important for me, that I deem higher education not an input or outcome or effect, but a process. And the quality of higher education process is the values transmitted during this process. In my opinion, following Mr. Professor Varus and the modern quality management issues, and this value added can be grabbed by personal profit as well as social value. I want to deal with social value in my research, but social value cannot be splitted from sustainable development. And if we see these concepts together, I thought that bridge of inclusion is something that connecting these fields together. The other key concept of mine is dropout. And I want to press here that I value dropout as a last element of this higher education process. I try to follow the lean approach in this way. And all the students who are leaving the started course, in my interpretation, without qualification and degree, they are dropout. And the only interesting thing in this that if you see the last line, that I think that changing studies courses within institution, those persons drop out as well. If they are not, definitely it's a bad thing, but they are drop out because they are terminating or interrupting their courses. Sorry. The main target of my research is to reveal factors which are most relevant for value added and to analyze connection among them. As I've already said, it's an inverse approach with dropout students, and the this today presentation has relevant research questions because I want to focus for the free-worded answers. So it's very important what kind of patterns can be identified in free-worded answers. I'll try to encode these answers and what kind of non-structured variables can be revealed this day. So students have the possibility to give their own experiences, and this is very important if we are really curious about their things. And how can these all can join to them? I want to show you some relevant questions of the questionnaire. This first question was that what are your personal reasons of leaving? It's leaving just now the very simple explanation, but it was terminating or interrupting your legal leadership. I used 4-scaled Likert scale, and I give them 5 variables. And the other answers now, which are very important for today. The second question relevant for this today topic, it was that we study difficulties, but today we do not have too many time for this special backbone. But I want to show you that if we ask them that what factors and to which extent obstruct their study success, I try to conceptualize and operationalize my questionnaire by 4 dimensions: student, lecturer, institution, and network. And in this question, I used Likert scale, and I do not wanna, because I don't have time to read these background factors of study difficulties, but when I analyze the association between them, very interesting map can be drawn. But if we go back to the sample, we can see that we have almost 500 answers, quite a good sample. But if we see that the total dropouts and we see the division, the ratio of them, it's not reaching the 5%, which is not a big proportion. But that's why I looked into the layer, and we can see that the total dropout have 2 main decisive factors of these terminating legal relationships, official reasons, I mean, not meeting the requirements first, and the second one is student request for interruption of the study. But if we look into our sample, we can see that these not meeting the requirements almost lost. And instead of, there is another very important thing which attract our attention to the concept of readmission, because they are saying that I want to just change studies or courses within the institution. The other thing which is very important, that there are a little more overrepresented those who have more than the accepted failures, and those one who went to another institution. So perhaps frustration can be more on board. So have to be very sensitive with these dates. The research method, association and contingency, content analysis. Okay, just one I was able to use the ordinal and nominal scales, of course, but for today, the main role is for content analysis. So the research. At first step, I wanna see the place of other reasons among personal reasons. I made the frequency analysis, and we can see that second place is for other reasons in the fully answers, the ones who said that is fully important for them, that there is something other what I've pre-restructured before, and it's very important. And the next slide, we can see that if we see the connections of personal reasons, we can say that though following Personsky square, no independency exists, but Kramer's Faust shows that there is no really important connections between other reasons and the reasons of family, job, or study. So that is why I thought on another route, that it could be a very good thing to just analyze and examination other reasons. And then when I see the numbers, I saw that all the ones who said that other reasons is very important or fully or decisively important for them, and the ratio among them who want to say some free-worded answers, want to say some real opinion for the topic, it was more than 70%, sorry. So it's a very good mass. And I encoded these answers. And as a result, I can identify 70 more other reasons. I don't want to read them, but they are really very, very, very exciting. These ones, the low input level of knowledge, financial reasons, and we see in another spectacle, we can see that the division, the ratio of them, the importance of these factors, we can see that I want to stress or look more to the factors which were above 10% and which were at the bigger importance, most important in these smaller, fully and decisive answers. And I experienced that the satisfaction with the quality of education, mental health reason, and profession was not appropriate, was very, very, very popular, very important. But if we look into the mirror of inclusive excellence, all those other examples and opinions which are hide some individual patterns can be important. So what I did afterwards, I put these things together side by side, and I realized that it's very interesting that students find personal events which can be connected to the student dimensions. They have more items, not just time management, learning method, study difficulties, I pre-structured, but they have this low input health situation, mental health reasons, which I haven't mentioned before, housing, or just study failure and successes. But the other thing which is very important, that they see this satisfaction with the quality of education as a package. I try to divide it into more items, but they see it together. And that is why first of all, I find this positive dropout, which means that the young people of their age, it's so natural that they couldn't know where to go. And it's not a problem that they on not a right course or not a right faculty, but we are the ones who have to support them to find their roots, their own ways as soon as possible. But we cannot do if we do not know who are not on their way. So there are diversity of problems, but the only question of these, that where is the system of attention? It could be very important later on. And my closing slides is about these word clouds based by dissatisfaction. Sorry, based by content analysis. And first of all, dissatisfaction with education was under examination. And what we can see that is a quite sad picture, says so layers about why they are dissatisfied. But the main things that out-of-date education, lecturer, subject lost, work, requirements, so on. And we can say that attitude, those attitudes, when it's some citation that some students say that, hey, it was not there to ask, because if I ask a question, I was ashamed. And I think that not daring to ask is rather hindering things to education and to learning. The other thing is what is to study, the curriculum itself and the system, because it said somewhere this in organization. So they saw it together. The other factor where I was, or category I was analyzed, it was study failures. And what was more shocking in this, that is a kind of evil circle. So it's not just the more effort, the less success, as some was said, but the more failures, the more stress, the more failures, and so on and so on. And the only question in connection with, and I want to take it forward to the institution research of mine, that who controls this process, who has these administrational data, that who are the students who are in trouble from this aspect. And the third one is mental health reasons. And though I had a pre-structured category that what is the opinion about the services of education or services of universities, it wasn't a very frequent category of mine. But from this aspect, there are students who are in trouble in this way, and who cares about them? And it's very, 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 very shocking and exciting to read their lines about their problems. So some summing thoughts. I have only possibility to give you just, some focused version of my research of free-worded answers. But it's sure, and I hope that you can see that these free-worded answers make us better understand what are behind the curtains. And there are positive and negative dropouts, but the most important thing from the aspect of inclusive excellence is to be aware of these factors, to be able to support. And inclusive excellence for me is just like a soil, a humus. Without it, it's a cultural basis of quality. Without it, I cannot imagine it can be successful. And the other things, that inclusion is for everybody, and not just the ones who are out, but those ones who are in, and to keep them in would help them to find their right own ways. And what is very important for me as well, as that it's crucial that the responsibility and control-taking system of university should be in their places. And reflection and self-reflection is very important in individual aspect as well, all our lives, to when we are creating values. But it's very important when we think about institutional things. So that was my very small presentation. Sorry. And I've already showed you that there are some other steps. I'm just the beginning of the route, and my bibliography. And thank you very much for respecting attention. I'm just feeling like this guy, just running. Okay, so thank you.